wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, no, this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the news that fits some loose shit. A stupid myth, you choose to live or choose to...
Go time. And welcome back to the Sports Money Brothers and the RBC Heritage, our version of golf coverage here over on the Sports Money Network. Jeff, it's Tuesday night. It's only right that we start talking about this Thursday golf event at the RBC Heritage down there, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. I don't know about you, but it makes me reminiscent of our Myrtle Beach golf trips, and I can go back. What about you? What are you thinking?
It's funny you say that. I got two people from work right now that took vacations, both going to Myrtle Beach independently with their significant others, and they're both about like 40 minutes from each other, and they were talking about meeting up, possibly playing golf, grabbing some dinner. So yeah, I'll tell you what, that would kick ass.
Harbour Town Golf Links, and I'll tell you, I think you and I would enjoy it down there. It's a links course. I know we always used to have a lot of fun blasting the ball down the middle of the fairway and just watching it roll out. Of course, in a links challenge, the weather always becomes a factor, but there's a lot of changes in this tournament. Dustin Johnson was the RBC guy. So they get done with the Masters, and the week later, because Dustin is sponsored by RBC Heritage, he'd kind of be there, and there really weren't a lot of other names. So he would just kind of go out there, and of course he can smack the ball a ton, and he was pretty good at chipping and putting. So it was his tournament to manage. But the significant changes over the last couple of years, the PGA has invested over $10 million into this thing as far as purse money is concerned. I believe they're up to $20 million right now as far as purse money. And on top of that, they've increased it this year. It's a signature event. So they're expecting that to continue. This is going to be a flagship product for the PGA Golf as they move forward. It makes sense. You get the week after the big buzz for the Masters. Not sure if you're aware of that or not, Jeff, but a links course. Scottie Scheffler was the winner last year. And now we're getting into this thing. Can't wait to talk about this, break this down, talk about some of our first round leaders, the way we're going to attack the course. What were your thoughts on the Masters? You happy for Rory?
You know I'm not. I was saying it the other day there, Saturday on the stream. My best bet was Phil Mickelson to miss the cut at plus 160, and my worst bet was Roars to miss the cut at plus 700. But that guy comes out and wins it. You know what? Good for him. Good for getting the Grand Slam. I'm not a big Roars fan, but he is a hell of a golfer, and he certainly killed it. I'll tell you what. Was it round one? I didn't watch all of round one. I was working during the day, but it was round one or round two where he ended up putting the ball in the water, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. He's got a double. He's gonna blow it up. But no, he ended up recovering. I mean, he came out, you talked about it the other day there, 6 threes in a row, the first person ever to do it in the Masters. He played well. He played very well. I saw Jay Day came out there and said the only way he's going to beat Rory is to break his clubs. And he said even then, he still didn't think he was going to win. So, there's a lot of talking lines, obviously, around the Masters and all the majors for that matter. But, to your point here with the following event here at the RBC Heritage, you see the top. You got Scheffler, Morikawa, you got Xander, you got Ober, you got Cantley. I mean, there's some big names in this one. A couple that from the Masters though that I was a little disappointed with was Justin Rose. Not that I was disappointed with him. I had him to come in the top 20. I forget what his price was there, but I wish I had ended up taking him in the top 10, top 5. I mean, obviously he came in second place. I did take him live at plus, I think it was 1,600 when he was 2 holes away before Roars tied him back up. So I was rooting for him. They gave me a heavy payout on DraftKings, and I wrote out Justin Rose. Guy that made my shit list, Sepp Straka. If I ever bet Sepp Straka again, I'll tell you, it'd be a cold day in hell. And 2 guys that I still do have faith in is Hideki Matsuyama and Minwoo Lee. I think they're going to be solid plays moving forward throughout the rest of the year. They came out with solid starts, and Minwoo, he came out cat slapping. But No, I think again these guys did pretty well. Victor Hovland, you know, he blew. He was I had him top 5 plus 700. He was doing extremely well until I think it was towards like the mid to third round, the back 9 of the third round, and he kind of blew apart. But you know, again, I thought the plays were. I was happy with them. Unfortunately, more didn't come through. So well, we'll get him this week. That's for sure. How'd you feel?
I feel the same sentiment as you. Obviously, Rory's one of our guys. He piles around in our backyard. His wife coming from the area here, and I know he spends some time at Oak Hill when he's got his downtime in between events. So, kind of becoming a name around town, which it's kind of interesting to see the way that all worked out. But nonetheless, yeah, that Sunday start was amazing, and you kind of got a microcosm here of Rory's entire career in 1 week. You talk about him going in the water. You see him getting hot. You see him getting cold, like the ups and downs. I guess the pretty cool thing about it was to hear the story, the backstory with his parents and how they had his dad had 3 jobs. His mom was watching him during the day and then was working at night just to support him being able to go out there and figure out how to play golf. And to complete the Grand Slam was cool. I thought his career kind of went down on the downturn. He got all that money. Tiger got all that money from Nike. Then Roars gets it. Then he sprains his ankle or breaks his ankle or whatever the situation was, playing soccer with his Irish buddies on some downtime. And his career never seemed to kind of get back on the right track. And to see him complete the Masters and get that Grand Slam was pretty cool. All right, we'll put the bow on that guy. Good for him. Let's move on. He doesn't need to win again. If he does a couple, that's fine too. But probably the British Open, you got to look for. I mean, remember his dad putting all that money on him to win the British Open back when I think his first time he won the British Open. So very much family guy.
That was his only time, I think, winning the British Open, wasn't it?
It might have been, and it was still I remember him talking. It was a lot of money too. It was no small investment for his kid to go out there and win the British Open.
Did he do it 4 years or something in advance? Like he did. He
played. His kid first went live, and they put the money out because I think it was I got to remember the details. I can't remember if it was in Ireland or not, but they're moving forward. And the reason we bring up this kind of recap on the Masters is because traditionally, players that do well at the Masters carry forward to the RBC Heritage. You see last year, Scottie Scheffler wins the Masters, and then he follows it up and he picks up the RBC Heritage. Of course, this course is famous for its lighthouse and beautiful landscape here. The links course does mean it can certainly fly, and strokes can certainly get swiped away really fast out there. The last 5 years, we've seen the winner go anywhere from 13 to 22 under par. I expect a banger here. We've got this thing attracting better talent, specifically because of the fact that it's now involved as a signature event. We've got the players in proximity because it's a signature event coming off the Masters, wanting to be involved in this thing. And the weather, Jeff, we're talking 70 degrees, 10-mile-an-hour winds at best. The factor can be the gust. They can get gust up to 40, 45 miles per hour, but this track in itself should have, we should be laying down a pretty low score in this thing. And I'm excited to hear about how you're getting to the window. For me, I was looking at this thing and a couple of things I thought about. It's kind of traditional golf. Accurate drivers, ball striking is going to be at a critical, and players that can scramble and get themselves there will be the way that they find their path to victory. Performing well the previous round is going to be important. That is the Masters. And familiarity from a Bermuda grass style. These guys have already been playing on this with the Florida circuit, so shouldn't see too much difference there. As far as the track's concerned, the par threes are long. They're 190 to 220 yards. There are 2 drivable par fours. Everything else remains pretty lengthy, 400 to 475 yards. The 3 par fives will be somewhere between 550 and 600 yards. So it's going to present some scoring opportunities. The approach shot should be the factor that makes the most sense. We've got a bevy of players that do fall under the top players in field in terms of their approach shot are some guys you already talked about. Colin Morikawa, JJ Spawn, Xander Scheffler, Sepp Straka. There's your boy Seppy. Scottie Scheffler, Shane Lowry, which a big public buy-in on the Masters, let everybody down. Justin Thomas, Nick Taylor, Victor Hovland, and Tommy Fleetwood. Driving distance, on the other hand, probably not such a big deal. The accuracy is, and if we look at the field and we see who the leaders in the field are from a driving accuracy perspective, Colin Morikawa. We talked about this. Important to finish strong at the Masters. Finishes top 13. Aaron Ray finishes 27. Lucas Glover Brian Campbell, Daniel Berger, Russell Henley, Sepp Straka, Nick Taylor, and Sanjay M are some other guys to round out the field. Jeff, talk to us. How are you going to get paid? I got a bevy. I got a couple of guys here I got involved with here. First round leaders, outrights, a couple top 5, top 10, top 20s as well. But open the floor up for us, Jeff. Talk to us about who you're playing, how you're targeting this course, and how you're going to get to the path of cashing at the RBC Heritage.
I got to say, I'm a little disappointed in myself. I did not have a finishing score, and I did hit it on the head last week with the Masters at 12 under. Did hit. A little disappointed I didn't pull one together here for this, but yeah, I think we got some wider fairways here and tighter greens. So I think to your point, popping the ball out there, hitting the fairway isn't going to be too challenging for a lot of these guys unless they're blowing them left and right. But ultimately, getting on that green and getting tight into the pin is going to be key. As you mentioned, get the guys from the previous rounds that have been striking well. I guess I'll start out. I don't have any top 20s yet. I'm still looking into that. I've got a couple of ideas that I'm looking at. I just want to find some better numbers. But from a top 10 perspective, I do like your boy, Shane Lowry, who led everyone down last week. I'll tell you what, though, he was killing it. I mean, the guy, he was, I don't know if you mentioned where he ended, but I think he ultimately is going to be a viable option for top 10, coming in hot last week, coming in hot this week. I do think this course sets up well for him. His putting was decent last week. I don't know, say decent. He was pretty on point for the most part. Uh, Maverick McNeely is another one. So I got Lowry top 10 at plus 240 and Maverick McNeely at plus 450. So a couple of shots there at the top 10. I think Maverick, obviously priced at plus 450, is a little bit more of a wild card, but he played well. What was it, 2 weeks ago? Comes into the Masters. He didn't fare very well in the Masters, but he made the cut. He did all right. He did decent, I guess. But McNeely, I think coming into this one again from a tee to green, from a guy that's going to hit the fairways, a guy that's going to hit the greens, greens in regulation consistently. I think Maverick's he's a young up and coming prospect, so him at plus 450 in the top 10, I didn't see as a bad play.
I'll give you a top 20 here. I'll isolate one guy. It's your boy. It's Sepp Straka, and his top 20 is plus 135. I get it. Let down, kind of once bitten, twice shy makes a lot of sense to me. But, I mentioned his name and kind of that shout out of some of the criteria or characteristics that make this course what it is. And the approach shot, big factor. Sepp Straka. The reason I'm going top 20 is because I don't expect him to be as relevant in this course here and what he's doing. This is one of those opportunities here where I think he can be top 20 in the field. He can contend. And again, not the sexiest price tag, but plus 135 to come in the top 20. Give that to me. I got a top 10 as well, just isolating one top 10 player that I was involved with here last week to some extent. I liked him pre-round. You talked a little bit about him as well. Give me Victor Hovland. Top 10 finish for Victor at plus 230. Again, kind of a similar deal. Has a lot of the criteria to get us there, specifically the approach shot. This guy ranks in the top of the field. Approach is going to be what you're not going to get a clear jump at this thing if you don't have the ability to go out there and, set it up and make it happen as far as that second and third shots are concerned. So Links course, guy was feeling pretty loose, probably disappointed at himself. I think the benefit for this guy is being able to run back after the hog and try to chase it down at a nice price tag as well. So plus 10, plus 230, Victor Hovland. Talk to us about some outrights and some of the other plays that you have.
So I'm going to roll back with top 5. I got my boy Corey Connors. He played well again. I mean, he was in the running up. He had a shit fourth round, unfortunately. He could have, a couple of those putts, if he'd have made them, he would have been right there in the mix. So I jumped on Corey Connors, top 5 at plus 450. Again, think it's a good price. The guy played solid last week, last week all around up until, the fourth round. And even then, he still, I think he ended plus 2 or something like that. But he played pretty solid. I'm going to roll with the Canadian and Corey Connors, top 5 plus 450. And I'm going to go with Berger as well. He won, obviously, the week before the Masters. He had a hell of a week. He came out in the Masters. He played all right. I mean, he again made the cut. He did. I think this course sets up well for him as well. I got Berger top 5 at plus 900, so that was probably but minus the outright winners. That was my biggest shot I took for the for my top tier players, I guess. So yeah, I'm rolling Berger and Connors. Berger top 5 plus 900, Connors top 5 plus 450.
All right, talk to us about your outrights. I'll share a couple of mine, and we'll put a bow on the show.
I'm going with I don't say a couple of vanilla plays, but I got Ludwig Oberg at plus 1200 to win this one. Again, as we talked about last week, he was in third place there. He was just shy of the. I mean, he fell apart again for the last 2 holes, but he was right in there in the mix. So I think he's going to come out strong. This course sets up well for him as well. So I got him at plus 1200, and then I went with your boy, Colin Morikawa at plus 1100. Now I didn't necessarily want to take him because he is chalky at plus 1100. He's the second guy in the mix there. Oberg is the fourth guy. I do like Xander in this one, but yeah, I think Oberg and Morikawa are the two better shots. And again, Scottie Scheffler again, always in the mix, but I don't want to take Scottie at plus 360. I think Oberg and Morikawa have some pretty good shots at the win in this one. I don't mind Cantley either at plus 1800, but yep, my money's on Oberg and Morikawa, and then I'm gonna look into some top 20s here. I just got to put a little more pen to paper and come up with something that I want to put out there officially.
Excellent work there. We're going to align on one of these spots here, but a couple thoughts I had here of some of the plays I wanted to get involved with. So the way I like to approach it, I've told you guys before, I like to get a first round leader, a full outright. We almost had the first round again. They're just such heartbreakers out there, but I'm a little surprised. Jeff didn't get involved with some Justin Rose. I will take some Colin Morikawa. I got him to win the outright. You mentioned it, 1100, 11-1. First round leader, 20-1, and a top 5 at plus 210. I think Colin Morikawa lines up great for the event. He had a top 14 finish at the Masters. Here's the difference between this year and last year. If you look at Colin Morikawa, when he's played at the RBC, so he's played here 5 times. He's had 2 top 10 finishes, 9th place last year, right? So one of his top 10s was last year. His iron game was just not there. He just, we've been there before. You just can't get the feel with that iron in your hands. And that's exactly, he still finished strong, but the benefit of him this year, he had tremendous iron game over there at the Masters. I think you don't usually see me get this far up the deal here, but 11-1, 20-1, and a top 5 at plus 210. Top 5. That's my only top 5 on the course. I'm going to go to Hey Songjae. Give me a little Songjae M, Jeff. 40-1 outright. Songjae M and JJ Spawn were both kind of right in the same pack, if you will, here. I ended up with Songjae because, again, the driving accuracy and ability to manage that approach shot got there. 40-1 on his outright. And I looked at his top 20 and top 10s. I may get there. Plus 280 for his top 10, plus 135 overall. So I've got Colin. I've got Songjae. And I'm going to take some Justin Rose. I'm going to get some Justin Rose in my life here. 60-1, 45-1 outright. Again, our first round leader. The big component here is the significant finish there in the last, finishing second place after the playoff to none other than the actual champion and Rory McIlroy. He did win the first round at the Masters. I think he's going to settle in. He's going to regroup. He's an experienced golfer. 45-1 for the first, 60 overall. That's going to be my 3-pack. Colin Morikawa, Songjae M, Justin Rose. I gave you guys a couple other top 5, top 10s, and top 20 finishes. That's going to do it, Jeff. Any closing thoughts for the show tonight?
I do have so I got my list of players that I like, and Rose and Sanjay are both on them. I'm thinking Sanjay might come out on fire in this one. Given, I guess we'll see, how he's striking the irons as well. I think Sanjay to win the first round leader. I don't typically give those out. I did put a couple of bucks on it. I forget what the price was, but I do think Sanjay Im's a viable guy to get it done in the first round. I do like Justin Rose as well, but again, he didn't make my list here. I'll probably put a couple of bucks on him as well. I don't know if his heart got crushed as I was gonna say a fighter, a golfer who's over 40. He's played in a close tournament. There was a lot of ups and downs in that one, and I don't know. Hopefully, his heart's not crushed and shattered, his spirit. But I do like Rose in this one. I again couldn't find a way to play him, but I certainly might get in there as we get closer to the tournament.
Hey, I'll give you guys a long shot as well. I haven't figured out exactly what's going to happen with this guy here, but Nick Taylor. You might be going, who? This guy finished in the 40 at the Masters. He definitely meets the criteria with some of the golf making abilities out there, approach, tee to greens, and putting as well. So 110 to 1, 65 to 1 for the first round leader tells you he might be alive early. He might crumble late, but his top 20 is plus 280 as well. Stay tuned to us over on the post tab for any extra official plays that we drop into the golf event here. On behalf of Jeff and the Sports Money crew, thank you guys for watching. In the comment section, do us a favor, smash the thumbs up and tell us who you like to win this golf tournament. Any strategy, any approach, top 5, top 10, top 20s. It helps us a great deal. Means a lot for us getting this YouTube thing rolling. And we'll see you guys again real soon. Thanks again.